St. Paul, right?
Minneapolis.
Larry McRae was on that bill, and a few other people. I had a great time. And yeah, just wonderful memories ever since then, coming to the Twin Cities, really. And he opened a door for me. Man, I was working in the welfare office in Miami in the 90s, and I hated that job, man. I didn't like doing it. I had I was idealistic. I thought I was gonna save the world and play music and shit. It was all gonna be rainbows and lollipops, and it was a drag, man. It was terrible. And I was going to work, and I was playing nights, hoping that I would be able to do this full time. And then, just when I thought it wasn't going to happen, I sat in with him. We had a mutual friend, and I sat in with him at a club in Delray Beach, Florida. And about a month, he actually said, his road manager said to me, "I heard you could play." He go, "Yeah." He goes, I said, "You better be good, because if you're not, Junior's going to embarrass you from all these people." I said, "Man, I just worked a 12-hour shift at the welfare office." I said, "A good night, bad night with Junior Wells beats a good day at the office." I don't care what he says. Let's just have a good time. Let's have a good time, And about a month later, I filled in on some dates. I did Buffalo, Cleveland, and Detroit, and filled in for the guy that I wanted to replace him. And about a month after that gig, I got the job with him, and I had to move to Chicago from Miami. And it was like April of '97, and my dumb ass thought April in Miami was the same as April in Chicago. And I showed up at O'Hare Airport wearing a pair of swim trunks and a tank top, and it was 45 degrees. And so I was freezing my ass off, I didn't know where I was gonna live. I had 3 days to move there, and I called my cousin who had a house, a loft, an apartment on the north side. And he had just got married, and imagine his dismay when I called him and asked him if I could stay over at his place for a couple of weeks. His wife was even less thrilled about it. I said, "Hey, can I come stay over for a couple of weeks till I find a place?" "Yeah, okay. And then I showed up, and that lasted 1 day, because if you've ever been in a lofts, the doors the walls don't go up all the way. And I had a very bad snoring problem. And my cousin said, "Hey," after one night, he goes, "You got to go." And I was like, "Fine." "Why?" Because my wife can't get any sleep. We gotta work. We work for a living. I was like, "Screw you." And I left. I grabbed my bags, and I went up to a transient hotel up the street on the red line, right on the red line tracks on Belmont Avenue, called the Hotel Belmont. It was something out of the Blues Brothers. It was exactly like the Blues Brothers. It was right on the red line, and the trains ran every 20 minutes. And it was a $30 a night flop house. And I remember my suite had a chalk line on the floor. And I had a TV with a wire hanger for an antenna. I had to share a toilet with the guy next door. We had one of those toilets so you had to share with the other room, which made for some awkward moments when the drunken guy next door would forget to lock the door, and I walk on in him doing something, Pips and hoes and johns and knives and gunplay every night. You'd hear women screaming, running up and down the halls, and I looked out my window after a week and I said, "This is the greatest moment of my life." I'm a Chicago blues man, and I haven't had a real job since. And I owe it to Junior Wells. So we're gonna do one of my favorite Junior Wells songs. It's on the record, and Rick Estrin from the Nightcats plays on this one on the recording, and it's called "Come On in This House." It goes like this. You're crying, call me daddy one more time. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to come on in this house. Yes, this old house. You hear me holler? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I love you so. Come back, baby, 'cause I'm to blame. Thank you. I got another woman. You can have your other man. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to come on in this house. This old house. Hear me holler. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I love you so. Thank you very much. I'm going to do another Junior Wells song that's going to be on the album. This is a song he wrote